The Fisherman and the Sea. There was once a fisherman who lived in a small hut by the edge of the sea. The hut was old and narrow, built from weathered boards, and the wind moved through it as freely as a thought. Behind it lay a stretch of pale sand. In front of it, the sea. Each morning, before the light had fully settled, the fisherman walked down to the water with his net. He cast it out, waited and listened. The sea answered only with its usual sounds. One day, when he pulled the net back in, he found a fish caught among the ropes. It was a large fish, silver and still. Before the fisherman could move, the fish spoke. "Please," it said quietly, "let me go. I am no ordinary fish. I can grant what is asked of me." The fisherman was not frightened. He had lived beside the sea too long for that. He loosened the net and set the fish free. The water closed over it, smooth and unchanged. When he returned to the hut and told his wife what had happened, she listened without surprise. "You should have asked for something," she said. The fisherman shook his head. "I wanted nothing," he said. But his wife lay awake that night, staring at the ceiling as the wind moved through the walls. The next morning, she sent him back to the sea. "Ask for a better hut," she said. The fisherman went and stood at the shore. The sea was no longer calm. It had taken on a dull, greenish colour, and the waves moved more heavily. The fish rose again and listened. It did not argue. When the fisherman returned home, the hut was gone. In its place stood a small, solid cottage. The walls were straight. The roof did not leak. His wife nodded, but her eyes did not rest. Soon after, she said, "We should be more than this." And so the fisherman returned to the sea. Each time he went, the water grew darker. Each time he spoke, the fish listened. Each time he returned, something had changed. A larger house, fine clothes, servants who moved quietly and did not ask questions. Still, his wife was not satisfied. She wished to be important, then powerful, then above others. The fisherman's steps grew slower as he walked to the shore. The sea was now deep grey, heavy and restless. The air pressed down on him as he called for the fish. Again it rose. Again it listened. When his wife wished to rule, the sea turned black. When she wished to rule all things, the waves climbed high and the wind cut through his clothes. Finally, she said, "I wish to be as great as the sea itself." The fisherman said nothing. He walked once more to the shore. The water surged and fell, endlessly, without regard for him. He called out, The fish did not rise at once. When it did, it said nothing. The fisherman spoke the wish. The sea moved, then it stilled. He returned home. The great house was gone. The servants were gone. The fine clothes lay folded, untouched by time. The old hut stood once more by the water's edge. The wind passed through its broken boards as it always had. His wife sat inside, looking at the wall. Nothing more was said. Outside, the sea continued as it always had.